YCN, your local view on WVBK-CA, serving Manchester, Londonderry, Vermont, and South Charlestown, New Hampshire, and WVBQ-LP, serving Charlestown, New Hampshire, and Rockingham, Vermont.
Coming up tonight on YCN, police are searching for a Springfield man accused of soliciting a 12-year-old girl. Officials have determined the cause why the MV Kearsarge sunk. We have more details about the Newport Health Center and New London Hospital merger. And we have highlights from the Springfield versus Hartford girls basketball game from last night. So sit tight and get ready for more local news, local sports, and local weather. It's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that is happening in our area. The YCN News Hour, your local view.
Welcome to YCN. I'm David Carmichael. Springfield police are looking for a male suspect who allegedly tried to solicit a 12-year-old girl while she was walking home from school yesterday afternoon. The Riverside Middle School girl reportedly got off the bus at 2:35 p.m. when she was approached by a suspicious male and asked to perform a sexual act. The suspect offered the girl money to follow him, but she refused. The suspect is being described as a thin man in his 20s with blue eyes and light brown or reddish hair. The initial report came in as an abduction attempt, making it the second report in southern Vermont this month. Police are encouraging parents not to leave their children unsupervised at bus stops and not to have them walk alone in isolated areas. After restoring the MV Kearsarge to its floating position after the dinner cruise ship took on water last Thursday night, officials have determined what caused the 34-ton boat's stern to sink. A small hole the size of a pencil eraser was found in the coupling from a C-valve to a port engine. The rudder sustained damage as a result of contact with the lake's bottom and might need to be taken out of the water for full repair. The boat is currently floating and is scheduled to be fully operating for the 2013 season. After nearly 2 decades of the New London Hospital extending its reach into the Newport area, the healthcare center is expanding into the community through an $8 million project that will provide more services and more jobs to the region.
Well, right now we're at capacity, so we literally don't have any ability to have more providers and services. We'll be enhancing our laboratory services, our radiology services. We'll be adding up to 4 additional physician offices to better serve the community.
When the Newport Hospital closed in 1990, the lack of healthcare services left a void in the community that the New London Hospital had to fill. 1/3 of the hospital's business now comes from Newport, according to CEO Bruce King. Dr. Schizler at the Newport Healthcare Center believes that although the hospital might bring in other healthcare services, that he is most concerned about keeping the hospital's core primary care values.
It helps us attract good primary care people who want to come and sell in the community, work in the community, and establish a long-term relationship and build practices.
We'll have more on this story as it develops. The $3.2 million water and sewer line extension in Enfield is near completion and with new improvements. Town officials say infrastructure is in place to promote development that could lead to improvements within the town. The Enfield Planning Board and voters must now decide whether or not to change the zoning district that would change the guidelines regarding what infrastructure could be built along Route 4. If the zoning regulations are changed, then the town could see new development from Baltic Street to the Canaan Town line that would allow more economic growth and job opportunities. Hanover and Norwich school districts are all in the process of finalizing their school budgets and also approving teacher contracts for 2013 to 2014. The Hanover School District is proposing a $11.6 million budget, a 2.3% increase over the current budget. The Norwich School District is also projected to increase by 5.4%. In the coming weeks, each of the districts will hold public hearings to make changes on the budgets. The Stevens High School budget will take into consideration repairs that need to be made both on the middle school and the high school buildings. A Stevens High School Building Improvement Committee is looking into sealing the windows of the middle school to make them more energy efficient. Faculty at the high school are also discussing the possibility of moving the auditorium stage so that it connects with the gymnasium. Amidst all of the repairs that need attention at each of the schools, the board is focusing on presenting the leanest and most effective building plan. The high price tags of repairing historic schoolhouses are again raising uncertain responses from Wethersfield residents. The Select Board held an informational meeting last night to discuss the fate of the Perkinsville Elementary School. Board members presented an update, but similar estimates of renovation cost to transform the building into a community meeting room with a small kitchen and 2 small bathrooms. Renovations on the 1879 built schoolhouse were rejected in November when voters opted not to authorize a $700,000 bond to restore the historic section of the building and demolish the rest. Although the Select Board tried to trim costs on their proposals, estimations are nearly identical. If the bonds pass on town meeting day, property taxes, in the worst case scenario, average $9 to $11 for every $1,000 of property value. New England College, one of the region's leading liberal arts schools, will soon break ground on a new facility for students pursuing business degrees. The project is part of a campus improvement plan designed to provide opportunities to update technology, offer more classroom space, and eventually hold a state-of-the-art theater for political debates and special events. The college has hired nationally renowned Boston-based architectural firm Sasaki Associates Incorporated. The Lebanon Planning Board unanimously passed plans for a new research facility at the Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. The plans will hopefully lead to solving the traffic problems on the Route 120 corridor. The board delayed a vote on the research facility December 10th of last year, raising concerns about the congestion on Route 120. However, public officials from Lebanon and Hanover have since met with the Upper Valley and Lake Sunapee Regional Planning Commission and the New Hampshire Department of Transportation to discuss improving traffic flow. Vermont hunter harvest numbers are up for bear, deer, and turkey in 2012. Bear hunters were particularly successful, harvesting 57% more than in 2011. Vermonters harvested 621 bears during fall of 2012. Deer hunters were also up to 13,850 deer, and moose hunters, however, did drop down from 252 to 222. The Lake Sunapee Region Chamber held their annual meeting last night with a packed house at Eastman Center in Grantham and delicious food provided by Bistro Nouveau. The highlight of the evening was the annual selection of the Community Member of the Year and Business of the Year. Ella Casey, longtime and retiring board member, was selected for her many years of community service in her hometown of Newport and throughout the Lake Sunapee region. Business of the Year was recognized as the Cat Company, which had for over 35 years provided high-quality summer arts activities for area youth.
Countless people that have helped make CAT grow phenomenal. Board of directors, many local people have been a part of. Michelle Lucy is our current president, and we spent 30 years having a wonderful time working with kids.
YCN would like to congratulate the Chamber for another successful year and to the people recognized. After the break, learn about some things going on at Simon Pierce with their marketing director, Ross Evans.
The YCN News Hour continues in a moment.